Although both these guys are extremely capable knockout artists, I ultimately see this fight ending on the ground, and I think Luke Rockhold gets the better of the fight there. Yoel Romero, despite his decorated wrestling pedigree, is a little too willing to give up takedowns. Keeping him on the ground, an entirely different story, but I think Rockhold is a very, very skilled ground technician. His transitions, his submission setups, all those things, I think he eventually catches Romero in the midst of a scramble, gets top mount, either pounds him out or finishes him by submission.
So the way I look at this fight is that Romero's got 2 tops 3 rounds to be able to win this fight, whereas Rockhold's got 5. Now, does Romero have a chance to be able to knock Rockhold out in the first 2? Absolutely, he's done it many times before. He's even managed it in later rounds. However, I do think that the pace and the footwork that Rockhold keeps will make sure that he'll keep his distance from Romero when it's at its most dangerous, and because of that, I do see Rockhold pulling off a relatively convincing decision at the end of the last round.
So this is a 5-round fight, and I think with an opponent like Luke Rockhold, it doesn't really play good in the hands of Yoel Romero. Don't get me wrong, Romero has made some improvement in his cardio, but I think in this fight, it's going to be cardio that will be the determinant factor. I think that Romero will be very dangerous in the early rounds, maybe cause Rockhold some problems, but eventually, in the later rounds, when Romero has to dig deep, and Rockhold, of course, survives the early onslaught, Rockhold will take over and eventually win by stamina. And I do think he will do it by decision and take that belt to American Kickboxing Academy.
Pick and fight for me on Saturday, but I am going to go ahead and pick Luke Rockhold here. I think it's a really close one, but I just think if you look at the fastest, the variations of where this fight can be won, I think Luke has the advantages. Obviously very good off his back, a good jits game, really strong on his feet, ever evolving under Henry Hooft. I know Javier Mendes is going to be in there too. You look at Yoel Romero, he's going to try and get this fight, make it gritty, make it grindy, sort of grind up against the cage, bit of dirty boxing. I'm not so sure Yoel's going to want to take this to the ground because I think he knows Luke is very strong off his back. Obviously wrestling is his forte, but I just think as well, when Luke's good upstairs, he's on point. He wanted that rematch against Michael Bisping a couple of fights back, didn't get it, made a statement against David Branch, and I think he's going to make a statement in Perth on Saturday night.